back there. Take the ball to the basket if you're Phoenix.
Nash against Kaman. Diaw with Kaman right there.
Like that. Take the ball to the basket. There's no shot blocking, and Kaman cannot guard Diaw with his quickness. Mike Dunleavy's going to have to take a look at the team he has on the floor right now.
The entire fourth quarter so far has been played in a 6-point range.
An offensive foul on Kaman, so he comes in the game. Diaw drives him, and then he gets an offensive foul with his right arm as he tried to post. Watch his right arm. The minute this gets away from your body, it's a foul. That is a foul right there. Diaw sells it to the officials, but you're not going to get away with that in the NBA.
Kaman, number 3. Nash. Both teams shooting over 52%. Nash dropping it into Marion. Another Kaman foul.
That two-man game with Nash and Diaw has been their best play throughout the Lakers series and tonight. It's caused all kinds of problems. You got to switch on it. You had now Kaman trying to guard Nash. He drives and finds Marion. More importantly, you have a 90% free throw shooting team now shooting free throws the rest of the way.
They took it away from Kaman. They gave the penalty to Livingston, who picks up his second. The Phoenix Suns tonight, a pristine 19 of 19 from the free throw line. They were the #1 free throw shooting team in terms of percentage in the NBA, but they took the fewest number of free throws average per game. 18 a game. That's the lowest in NBA history for a single season.
Well, if they're going to win the free throw line and the three-point line the way they are tonight, it's going to be tough for the Clippers.
Foul on Nash and the driving Livingston as the Phoenix Suns are enjoying a 6-0 mini run here against the LA Clippers. That's the second on Steve.
How much longer will Elton Brand stay on the bench? And also you have for the Phoenix Suns, when will we see Kurt Thomas come back in the game? He's been the guy to make the big shots. Wow, look at Sean Livingston on that baseline.
Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas, yes.
They wish they had Kurt Thomas.
There we go.
Yeah. Thomas has 5 fouls. Nash and Barbosa wide open.
Confidence.
Did Ross get tangled up? Is that why he was so late getting out there?
Well, he got a screen here on the weak side, and that's three-point line now. Plus 27 points at the three-point line for the Phoenix Suns.
We saw assistant Dan D'Antoni on the bench. Ross with the miss. Rebound by Sean Marion, who's had a monster game in terms of rebounding and scoring. 16 and 15 rebounds.
We'll get a timeout here. He's going to get Elton Brand back in the game. He and Mobley. Carmelo Anthony, because he knew he didn't have his shooting with him. So the Denver shoots 38%, only 87 points, 22% from the three-point line. But Kevin, let me put that in perspective. In a 5-game series, Denver hit 15 three-point shots. Tonight, the Suns have hit 10. They're plus 27. You can't load up on the Phoenix Suns like you're playing against one great player, because they spread you out and Nash will find open people. It's a much different team when you have to defend against this kind of team than when you can gear your defense to try to stop one guy with no three-point shooting.
Phoenix Suns shooting 70% from the field in this fourth quarter. Just saw Mike D'Antoni, last year's NBA Coach of the Year, who is celebrating his 55th birthday today.
Went right in the post to Livingston against Nash.
6 of 8. Sal is working on Barbosa. Nash, Bell, shot clock at 3.
Oh, what a shot.
Raja Bell.
What a shot. Elton Brand coming over, shot clock winding down. Left-hander off the glass to push the lead back to 9.
They double Livingston with 10 on the clock, and he throws it away. That is turnover number 14 for the Clippers.
Interesting, Mobley's been on the bench a long time. I know he has not shot the ball well tonight, but he's a very experienced player.
Bell for 3. Phoenix Suns have hit their last 6 consecutive shots from the field.
Is this shooting electric for this crowd or what? This team was flat coming out in the second half. They've made every shot.
Halftime, the Clippers led it by 5. Sam Cassell is down at the other end. A measured 3 by Barbosa. Cassell is still down. It's 5-on-4. Wide open, Barbosa for 3.
He should have driven the ball to the basket. He was so open at the three-point line. See, in college, they'll stop the game. In the NBA, you got to take a timeout to get your guy off the court. Elton Brand, I think, cracked him inadvertently.
The LA Clippers have their largest deficit of the playoffs right now. Yep, he did.
Inadvertent with his right hand, he comes across the face of Sam Cassell. Looks like he got him up in the eye area. We'll have to see if it's a message with Sam's vision at all. But the Suns have pushed this lead to 15. Remember, it was 99 all. Nash walked up to get to the 100 barrier. Since that point in time, Phoenix has been on a run. That three-point shooting is absolutely devastating. You think you're in the game, and they just riddle you from the outside.
Nash,
attending. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. SportsCenter is next.
Must-win time for the Clippers at home. Would LA shut down Nash and the Suns and force a decisive Game 7? The Mavericks.
How about Elgin Baylor? Talk about the punchline to a joke. He took the brunt of so much abuse. NBA Executive of the Year award. Of course, Steve Nash is the MVP 2 times in a row. He's missed his last 13 threes, missed his first one in this game, and finally ends the drought. Suns up 1. Nash maybe running low on gas. Maybe needs a rest. This guy doesn't. Young legs. Leandro Barbosa really showing out this postseason, showing the world what he's about. 15 of his 25 came in the first half. Suns up after the first 12, and then Quentin Ross has an advantage in length. He's longer, and Steve Nash, not the world's greatest defender, and Ross backs him down. Ross doing his thing and beat the buzzer. Son, don't hold on to it. Don't let the grenade go off in your hand. He gets it in the air and it beats the buzzer. Ross led the Clips with 16 in the first half. He had 18 in the game. Clippers up a dozen at the half. 62-50. Third quarter. Feed the beast. Feed the beast. Feed the beast. The monster Elton Brand goes off. 30 and 12. He was 14 of 21 from the floor. Many, as you would imagine, came in the paint where he had his way. Clippers up 11, but the Suns had the advantage from deep. 39-6, they outscored the Clippers from 3. 3 of Marion's 34 come there, and then, of course, he's long and can get to the rim. And it's a 7-point game with 12 minutes to go, and in this back-and-forth series, anything could happen. And, well, what happened is that the Duke duo, Brand and Maggette, got warm. Corey Maggette, give me all 3 of these. You're not ready for Maggette. This time, Maggette takes it to the cup. He was 7 of 8 from the floor, had 25 points in 27 minutes. Then Leandro Barbosa, the drive, and Elton Brand says, don't bring the Kool-Aid to a gin party. And Corey Maggette can score outside. He can score inside. Again to the cup. 3 the hard way. The Clippers in control. They win this one easily because they shot a sizzling and absurd 62% from the floor, and once again their bigs had their way. I mentioned Brand, and they dominate the boards to the tune of 48-28. So
Game 7 coming up on Monday. An amazing scene to give the fans here what they've done. How do you fight now the psychology of thinking that you've accomplished something here?
Well, we did. We survived to play another game. Game 7, it's do or die for both teams. We understand how to beat this ball club. We had to beat in Game 5. Didn't happen. Roger Bell made an incredible shot. Came here in Game 6. We showed our intensity, our style of play. If we do that, we'll win the game.
Our confidence, didn't waver any. We felt that we played very well Game 5. But we lost. We feel we played great Game 1 and Game 3. We lost all of those. So, we feel like we could beat this team. And at home, we want to protect our home court.
Got to appreciate the man that understands the understated elegance of the pocket square. That's Elton Brand. Well, you got to do what you got to do to overcome the shortcomings. Steve Nash, no shortcomings for him last year. He went off in the semifinal matchup against Dallas. This year, not so much. The Clippers, is he running out of gas? Is it because of what they're doing? Who knows? But the scoring is down for the 2nd series in a row, and Suns have got to go to a Game 7 back at home. But Tim Legler, before we go there, let's get your thoughts on Game 6.
Started early in the first quarter with Elton Brand going to work on Tim Thomas repeatedly, scoring at will in the paint, but it carried over to everybody else on that front line. Corey Maggette really in attack mode the entire game, getting to the rim, using his physical size and strength to really punish Phoenix defenders. Radmanovich comes in the game. He's a factor. Quentin Ross, the big X factor. He backed Steve Nash down into the paint on that block and really put a hurting on him. Also, the Clippers refused to take the three-point shot in this game. Only 5 attempts hurt the Phoenix Suns transition game because there were no long rebounds to be had. Only question left for the Clippers, can you stay dedicated and committed in a Game 7 on the road? Very few teams in history have been able to pull that off.
Like the scores in this one. Clippers going at a robust clip, $114 per game. The Suns hanging on 110 per game. Elton Brand, plenty of talk for MVP this season, and he has been absolutely unstoppable. 30 points, nearly 11 boards, and an positively preposterous 59% from the floor. The Suns, they've done it with balance. 6 different players, Marion, Bell, Thomas, Nash, Diaw, Barbosa, all are scoring in double figures in the series. Game 7, Monday. Can't wait.
There was no point deficit. Sam Cassell then barking, saying, this is my team. I want the ball. Let me handle the ball. He says, that's fine, but I'm putting Vlade Radmanovich in. He says, Vlade, I want you to hit the threes, but I also need you to play good defense. We can make up this deficit, but we got to make some stops. Kevin?
And they picked the right quarter to do it because they shoot 53% in this series in the fourth quarter. That's what they've got to do right now. They've got to be lights out for the next 12 minutes.
Well, Kevin, they've got to shoot well, but then they've got to get some defensive stops. Right now, the Suns shoot almost 60% from the floor, 57% from 3. They've got to get some defensive possessions to get themselves back.
The Suns close the third quarter in a 9-2 run. This is Radmanovich, and outside Maggette for 3. That is only the second three-point attempt by the Clippers tonight.
Amazing. Plus 36. For the Phoenix Suns behind the three-point line. Now remember, they were plus 33 in Game 6 and lost that game by 12.
James Jones for 3.
It's all working now. James Jones is in the mix. His shot has been on vacation.
And Marion picks up the foul, trying to work on the driving Sam Cassell. Second on Shawn Marion. 13 threes made, ties the game.
They might end up shooting a better percentage tonight they did in that Game 7. But Game 7, you're supposed to be tight.
Maggette.
Supposed to have nerves, be tight. Ball's supposed to be heavy. Not for these Suns, not at home in deciding games.
And the Suns holding their own on the glass as well.
Well, that's a big battle right there. The Clippers wins. They've out-rebounded the Suns by 23 rebounds a game. Tonight they're up only 2.
Foul that goes inside on Tim Thomas, who has assessed his 4th of the game for the Phoenix Suns.
Are we heading for another Phoenix-Dallas playoffs? Remember last year, that series? Incredible playoff series for Steve Nash. Dirk Nowitzki just got rid of one old buddy, Michael Finley. Is he going to be looking at his best buddy, Steve Nash, on Wednesday night? Or do the Clippers have another run in them to try to get back in this game?
Well, if the Suns win, they'll repeat as Western Conference finalists. And here's a long shot by Maggette and a rebound by Marion. The Suns would repeat as Western Conference finalists for the first time in 16 years.
What a tremendous accomplishment that be. No Amari Stoudemire, the trade of Joe Johnson. Kurt Thomas hurt, and James Jones. Shooting is contagious. Bad shooting, good shooting. It's contagious, and everybody's got the hot hand tonight for Phoenix.
60% shooting for the Suns.
He walked. He got away with one there. A little shuffled his feet, but Elton will take it. But again, Clippers got to get some defensive stops, Kevin. They're just changing baskets here right now. That clock is winding down. We've almost played 3 minutes of this period.
Elton Brand has made 14 of the Clippers' 33 baskets tonight. Jones with another 3. Saved by Diaw. Volleyballs it out to Marion.